Ever felt like you're fighting an uphill battle, trying to control every aspect of your life? Do you find yourself constantly worrying about the future, planning for every possible outcome, and feeling overwhelmed when things don't go according to plan? If so, you're not alone. Many of us struggle with the need to control everything around us, believing that it's the only way to achieve success and happiness. But what if there was another way? What if letting go of control could actually lead to more peace, fulfillment, and success in your life? In this video, we're going to explore the power of surrender and how it can transform your life. We'll dive deep into what it really means to let go of control and trust in the universe. This isn't about giving up or becoming passive. It's about finding a new way to approach life that can lead to greater happiness, reduced stress, and unexpected opportunities. Let's start by talking about why we crave control in the first place. As humans, we naturally want to feel safe and secure. We believe that if we can control our environment, our relationships, and our future, we'll be protected from harm and disappointment. This desire for control is rooted in our survival instincts, but in today's complex world, it often does more harm than good. When we try to control everything, we create immense pressure for ourselves. We spend countless hours planning, worrying, and trying to force outcomes. This constant state of tension can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and even physical health problems. It can strain our relationships as we try to manipulate situations and people to fit our expectations. And ironically, our attempts to control often lead to feeling more out of control as we realize how many things in life are simply beyond our influence. So, what does it mean to surrender? Many people misunderstand this concept, thinking it means giving up or becoming passive. But true surrender is something entirely different. It's about recognizing what you can and can't control, and choosing to let go of the things that are outside your influence. It's about trusting in the natural flow of life and being open to possibilities you might not have considered. Surrender doesn't mean you stop taking action or working towards your goals. Instead, it means you approach life with a sense of flexibility and openness. You set your intentions and do your best, but you're not attached to specific outcomes. You trust that things will work out, even if they don't happen exactly as you planned. The benefits of learning to let go can be profound. When you stop trying to control everything, you'll likely notice an immediate reduction in stress and anxiety. You'll feel lighter, as if a weight has been lifted from your shoulders. This sense of relief can have positive effects on your physical health, potentially lowering blood pressure, improving sleep, and boosting your immune system. Letting go also increases your flexibility and adaptability. When you're not rigidly attached to one particular outcome, you become more open to new opportunities and possibilities. You might discover solutions or paths forward that you never would have considered when you were focused on controlling everything. Your relationships can improve dramatically when you practice surrender. Instead of trying to control or change others, you learn to accept them as they are. This leads to more authentic connections and less conflict. You'll likely find that people are more drawn to you when you're not trying to manipulate or control situations. So how do you recognize areas in your life where you need to practice surrender? Start by paying attention to the things that cause you the most stress and anxiety. Are you constantly worried about your career path? Do you obsess over your relationships? Are you always trying to plan for every possible future scenario? These are all signs that you might be trying to exert too much control. It's important to note that surrender doesn't mean giving up responsibility for your life. There are many things you can and should actively work on and influence. The key is learning to discern between what you can control and what you can't. You can control your own actions, reactions, and choices. You can't control other people, external events, or the ultimate outcomes of your efforts. Now let's talk about some practical steps you can take to start surrendering. Remember, this is a gradual process. You don't have to let go of everything all at once. Start small and build your surrender muscle over time. One simple practice is to start each day by setting your intentions, but then consciously releasing attachment to the outcomes. You might say something like, "I intend to do my best today, and I trust that things will work out as they should." This simple act can help shift your mindset from control to trust. Another helpful practice is to notice when you're feeling stressed or anxious about something. Take a moment to ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, practice letting it go. Visualize yourself releasing that worry or concern, perhaps imagining it floating away like a balloon. Mindfulness meditation can be a powerful tool for learning to surrender. By practicing being present in the moment, you learn to let go of worries about the future or regrets about the past. Even just a few minutes of mindful breathing each day can help you cultivate a more surrendered state of mind. When faced with a challenge or obstacle, try asking yourself, what if this is happening for me, not to me? This shift in perspective can help you see difficulties as opportunities for growth rather than problems to be controlled or avoided. Now, let's talk about what it means to trust the universe. This concept can be interpreted in many ways depending on your personal beliefs. For some, it might mean trusting in a higher power or divine plan. For others, it might be about trusting in the natural order of things or the inherent wisdom of life itself. Regardless of your specific beliefs, trusting the universe is about having faith that things will work out, even if they don't go according to your plans. It's about believing that life is fundamentally supportive, not adversarial. This trust doesn't mean you expect everything to be easy or perfect. Instead, it means you trust that you have the resources and resilience to handle whatever comes your way. Developing this trust takes time and practice. It often involves looking back on your life and recognizing how things that seemed like setbacks or failures at the time actually led to growth, learning, or unexpected opportunities. As you cultivate this trust, you'll likely find it easier to let go of the need for control. Of course, the idea of surrendering control can bring up fears and resistance. You might worry that if you let go, everything will fall apart. You might fear that you'll become lazy or unmotivated. These fears are natural, but they're usually unfounded. To overcome these fears, start by acknowledging them. It's okay to feel scared about letting go. Remind yourself that you're not giving up responsibility for your life, you're just approaching it in a different way. You can still take action and work towards your goals. You're just releasing the need to control every detail and outcome. It can be helpful to start small. Choose one small area of your life where you can practice letting go. As you experience the benefits in this area, it will become easier to apply the principle of surrender to other aspects of your life. Surrender is not about passivity. It's about aligning yourself with the flow of life rather than constantly fighting against it. Think of it like swimming in a river. When you try to swim against the current, you exhaust yourself and make little progress. But when you align yourself with the flow, you can cover great distances with much less effort. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in the practice of surrender. By cultivating mindfulness, you develop the ability to observe your thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. This allows you to notice when you're trying to control things and consciously choose to let go instead. A simple mindfulness practice you can try is the body scan. Lie down or sit comfortably and slowly bring your attention to different parts of your body, starting from your toes and moving up to the top of your head. As you do this, notice any areas of tension and consciously relax them. This practice can help you become more aware of how control manifests in your body and give you a tangible experience of letting go. Another mindfulness technique is to practice non-judgmental awareness. Throughout your day, try to notice your experiences without labeling them as good or bad. Instead of immediately reacting to situations, take a moment to observe them with curiosity. This can help you respond more flexibly to life's challenges instead of automatically trying to control them. As you practice surrender, you'll likely start to notice positive changes in various areas of your life. You might find that your relationships become more harmonious as you let go of the need to control others. Your work life might improve as you become more adaptable and open to new ideas. You might even notice improvements in your physical health as you release the chronic tension that comes from trying to control everything. These changes often create a ripple effect. As you become more relaxed and open, you might find that new opportunities naturally come your way. People may be more drawn to your calm and confident energy. You might discover talents or interests that were previously hidden beneath your need for control. It's important to note that surrendering doesn't mean you stop setting goals or working towards what you want. Instead, it means you hold those goals lightly, remaining open to how they might manifest. You do your part, but you trust in the bigger picture that you can't always see. Think of it like planting a garden. You can choose what seeds to plant, prepare the soil, and provide water and nutrients. But you can't control exactly how each plant will grow. Some might thrive, while others struggle. There might be unexpected weather that affects your garden. By surrendering to this process, you can enjoy the act of gardening itself, rather than being overly attached to specific outcomes. As you continue on this path of surrender, you'll likely find that your perspective on life begins to shift. Instead of seeing challenges as problems to be controlled or avoided, you might start to view them as opportunities for growth and learning. You might become more appreciative of the present moment rather than always focusing on the future. This shift in perspective can lead to a deeper sense of peace and contentment. When you're not constantly trying to make things different than they are, you can more fully appreciate and enjoy what is. This doesn't mean you become complacent. Instead, you learn to dance with life, moving forward with intention but remaining flexible and open to the unexpected. Practicing surrender can also lead to greater creativity and innovation. When you're not rigidly attached to one way of doing things, you become more open to new ideas and approaches. You might find solutions to problems that you never would have considered when you were in control mode. It's worth noting that the practice of surrender is not about neglecting your responsibilities or avoiding difficult situations. It's about approaching these aspects of life with a different mindset. You still show up, do your best, and take appropriate action. But you do so without the added stress of trying to control outcomes that are ultimately beyond your control. For example, if you're facing a challenging situation at work, surrendering doesn't mean you ignore the problem or don't try to find a solution. Instead, it means you approach the situation with an open mind. You do your best to address the issue, but you're not attached to a specific outcome. You remain open to unexpected solutions or opportunities that might arise from the challenge. As you continue to practice surrender, you may find that your definition of success begins to change. Rather than measuring success solely by external achievements or outcomes, you might start to value inner peace, authenticity, and the quality of your relationships more highly. This shift can lead to a more fulfilling and balanced life. It's important to remember that learning to surrender is a journey, not a destination. There will likely be times when you fall back into old patterns of trying to control everything. When this happens, be gentle with yourself. Recognize it as part of the learning process and gently guide yourself back to a state of surrender. One way to support yourself in this journey is to create reminders in your environment. You might put up notes with phrases like "let go and trust" or "flow with life" in places where you'll see them regularly. You could set reminders on your phone to take a few deep breaths and consciously release tension throughout the day. Surrounding yourself with supportive people can also be helpful. Share your journey with trusted friends or family members. You might even consider joining a meditation group or finding a spiritual community that resonates with these principles. Reading books or listening to podcasts on the topic of surrender can provide ongoing inspiration and practical tips. Look for resources that align with your personal beliefs and resonate with you. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to surrender. It's about finding what works for you and feels authentic to your life. As you progress on this path, you might find that your relationship with uncertainty changes. Instead of fearing the unknown, you might start to see it as a field of infinite possibilities. This shift can bring a sense of excitement and adventure to life, even in the face of challenges. Practicing gratitude can be a powerful complement to surrender. By regularly acknowledging the good things in your life, you reinforce your trust in the universe. You begin to see how things often work out in unexpected ways, which can make it easier to let go of control. The goal of surrender is not to become passive or apathetic. It's about finding a balance between taking intentional action and letting go of attachment to outcomes. It's about co-creating with life rather than trying to force your will upon it. As you embrace this approach, you may find that life becomes more of an exciting journey of discovery rather than a constant struggle for control. You become more present, more adaptable, and more aligned with the natural flow of life. The power of surrender lies in its ability to free us from the exhausting and often futile attempt to control every aspect of our lives. By learning to let go and trust in the process of life, we open ourselves to greater peace, unexpected opportunities, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. This is a practice. It takes time and patience to shift from a control-based mindset to one of surrender and trust. Be kind to yourself as you navigate this journey. Celebrate small victories and learn from the times when you find yourself slipping back into old patterns. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the power of surrender. I hope you found it helpful and inspiring. If you have any thoughts or experiences you'd like to share, please leave a comment below. And if you found value in this video, consider subscribing for more content on personal growth and well-being. Remember, the journey of surrender is uniquely yours. Trust in your own process and in the wisdom of life itself. Here's to letting go, opening up to new possibilities, and discovering the freedom that comes with surrender.